This is Still Figuring Tech Out.
All right, so welcome back to Still Figuring Tech Out, right? And today's topic is burnout and mental health in tech. I think this is one thing that really needs to be discussed, right? Not even only in tech, like work, like any work that you're doing, like be it even an entrepreneurship, right? So it's time to get real, right? So these are two things we do not talk about and we want to talk about it, right? I think it's a mixture of like imposter syndrome, long hours, and constant learning that just drains you. So let's be very honest, right? And how do we deal with it, right? Chinaza, I'm seeing that you're about to get in the spirit. So let's start with you.
This is a personal topic. This is a personal topic because when you're constantly chasing after the next high, man, there's no time for you to actually take in the win.
Yeah.
There's no time. And it's more like it's a pressure you just put on yourself by yourself. Yeah, the industry would pressure you. Let's be for real. But most times the burnout comes from the constant need to achieve something. A constant need to have a win. And then when you eventually get that win, you don't celebrate it. I'm talking about this from my point of view because I had to be extra intentional about celebrating my small wins. I'm not one to blow my trumpets, but I had to start because I realized that one thing that cost my several episodes of burnout was constantly chasing after the next big thing without giving myself time to rest.
Yeah.
And then you remember when Josiah spoke about work-life balance? I lost myself first half of the year. It was a crazy experience because I was doing a whole lot of things at the same time, learning a lot at the same time, handling a lot of responsibilities, juggling multiple roles. And I still felt like I was not doing enough. So it is a very personal topic to me. I'm going to be very honest
It's
because
starting to feel so solemn.
Yeah. Like, when she started
because-
talking about, and even like in episode 2, when Chinaza started talking about how like she got scammed, it was just a very like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like,
so it's
but yeah,
we are going to speak about how to manage this in this episode. Joy is still our host, so I'll shift the focus back to her.
Yeah.
But this is a very sore topic, but I'm very open to speaking about it and how to move past it because you're going to have to learn to move past it because you're going to have several burnout episodes in tech and your mental health will suffer, especially in the Nigerian tech industry. But yeah, thank you, Joy.
Calm down. Those are tapa.
Become.
Exactly. All right. So I think I'm still going to get back to you, Chinaza, right? Chinaza, don't cry, you.
Cry again.
Oh, what? Okay.
No, there's no tears.
Oh my god, this is going to be a very, very, very emotional episode because I can already feel it.
I think she has seen enough shaggy.
I've seen Shaggy.
So I think I'm going to start with myself, right? I'm going to like just talk about what burnout looks for me. I mean, how
Looks
it
like?
feels like, right? Honestly, I do not think I've like experienced like that intense. I don't know. Let me try and describe what I used to feel. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you can help me categorize it into something.
Yeah.
So there are days where I just feel like doing nothing. Right, I just want to like lie down on my bed, just watch my anime.
like doing
and
anything.
Don't look at my laptop. Like no tech, nothing, no learning,
No motivation.
Right? And this just like happens for like just there's motivation, but I just don't feel like doing it at that particular time. Right, I just want to like I feel like it's too much.
Information overload.
Yes,
Like you
and
have a lot to process at the same
I
time.
can categorize that as burnout.
So it's like when you get burnt out, you detach from. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
for a week.
Okay.
I think for a week. And that week, I'm still feeling like I'm useless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Burnout.
Bro, that is so real.
When you
That is
place
so real.
your
That is so
value
real.
on your
Oh my
work,
god, that's so real, man.
when you place your
Everything.
value as a person on your output at work, no. I feel you, Joy. I feel you.
Right. So basically, I feel like there should be things I am doing, but then again, my body will be like, just calm down.
Yes, your
just
brain
calm
will be
down,
like, can we
calm
just
down."
take a
And
break?
actually, what I just do to actually get myself back is I watch anime. Like
Yeah.
I watch anime. That anime and sleep, right?
Sleep.
Rest.
I'm with you on sleep.
It's the best
that's the
medicine,
two
no?
things. Two
Yeah.
things, because I can literally sleep. I think you can call me Sleeping Beauty at some point.
You're a beautiful girl.
Thank you. Oh my god. Okay, back on track. Right. So I think okay. Since you guys said that was it, but I actually thought that wasn't like it.
No, that's a sign of burnout, actually.
Okay,
That's
so-
one sign of burnout.
Okay, so for me that's like the only thing like
Your body's
I experienced.
responding to-
Exactly.
You don't want to take a break, your body takes a break for you.
Yeah,
Most times.
so,
Trauma
like-
response.
Yeah. Josiah, what about you?
What burnout looks like for me.
Mm-hmm.
What burnout looks like for me is number one, not getting enough sleep, because I like to sleep as well. Right. I think that's like the number one thing. And then when I'm not able to focus, right, I think that's the key thing for me, because like I'm someone that I think I can work under pressure at some point, right? But when it gets to a point where I can't even focus on the thing I'm trying to do, right, I'm not getting enough sleep and I'm not being productive, right, I know that, it gets to the point that I need to take a break. So I think on a high level, that's what like burnout looks like for me. And then from that point, I take a break. And like you said, when I take the break, I feel very useless. When I sleep like I sleep for
think it's
8
a
hours,
thing
which
with
is normal.
techies.
Which is normal. I feel like I'm going to be an underachiever, because there are so many people that are not sleeping. And those are the people that will end up making
They are surpassing me.
Exactly. So yeah, that's like high level what burnout looks like for me. Yeah.
Okay. Shinaza.
Okay, back to me. I think I drifted off points. Okay, what burnout looks for me is not being able to focus,
Yeah.
but also pushing myself to focus because I have to focus.
Yeah.
So you can literally feel yourself like this is not what I want to be doing at this point in time, but I have to do it.
Yeah.
What burnout also looks like to me is when even what I find interesting, which is cybersecurity and setting up configurations and the likes, don't seem interesting to me at that point in time. It seems like this is too much. I just want to sleep. This is too much. I just want to cry. You get?
Yeah.
So the things you find interesting become very, what's the word? Become very
Tasking, overwhelming,
normal to you. It doesn't
Okay,
give you
yeah.
the same level of high.
dopamine.
Get dopamine. It doesn't give you the level of dopamine you would usually get from it.
Yeah.
What burnout also looks like or feels like to me is a rock in my chest.
Literal.
Like there's this hard feeling in my chest, and then in my brain it's like you're not doing it. That's imposter syndrome coming in. You're not as good as you think you are. And then I know when I have those sort of intrusive thoughts, it's usually when I'm burnt out. So I'm stressed, I'm tired. Obviously, my output level is now low because I don't have as much interest in what I'm doing at that point in time. So I rate myself by my level of output. So the
Do you
pressure.
think that's healthy though?
It is not healthy.
Yeah, it's not.
It is very unhealthy when you put too much pressure on yourself or place your value
On your
based on
output.
the levels of output you can achieve.
Work-wise.
Well, work-wise, basically. So I'd say, in summary, that's what burnout.
Yeah, interesting.
like.
It's funny
And
whenever
feels
Chinaza
like.
starts to talk about it, it's just very solemn. Like my attention I was just talking, I'm looking at her like,
I'm
sorry,
speaking from a
sorry.
place of heart. But yeah.
Right. So I think one thing I actually want us to like talk just a little bit on is like imposter syndrome, right? I think a lot of people are going through it. I
Oh
think
my
we are
God.
also going through it, but I think there's a way that we have found that to push it at the very back.
You have to tell yourself that you're good. Though.
Exactly. I think one part for me where imposter syndrome comes in is where people having conversations that I feel like, okay, I need to know what they're talking about, but I actually have no clue. And,
And
they,
they feel
and they will think you know it.
I have a very
And they will
funny story.
expect
You
about
just
to
say,
this.
chip in,
Yeah.
and you cannot chip in,
Yeah.
right.
and then you feel like you're not good enough.
Yeah,
Like you don't know as
another
much
part
as
is
you.
probably
you're
when you are
meant to.
taking like a high level certification, you're preparing for it, and you just
Why
instructor
do I feel like you're
keeps
talking about GIAC?
please, it has been an interesting journey, but then again, there's a whole lot of things that you don't know, and because it's new knowledge, you feel like, okay, you're actually way behind. But I don't know, I think that that's quite all right, because it shows that you are growing.
Yeah.
Like, it shows.
Can I also say
you're-
that social media doesn't help? It doesn't help. It helps in a way, but it doesn't help with imposter syndrome, because you see a lot of people. LinkedIn, for example, I'm a
Please.
LinkedIn influencer right now, but I'm still going to come right out and say it. LinkedIn doesn't help with imposter syndrome, because most times you see people in the same field. You probably started the journey
Yeah. Together.
almost at the same period or the same time frame, and
Yeah.
you see like they're achieving a whole lot, and it feels like your career is at a standstill. And your career might not be at a standstill, but whatever it is they're achieving makes you feel like your career is at a standstill. So it helps with amplifying you and what you do. But the negative side of it, if you're battling in imposter syndrome, I would even advise you to go off social media for a while and just
Yeah.
lock in.
I think there was one point when I was also trying to like balance like resources I need for DFIR, because if you go on LinkedIn,
Resources choke.
based on who you are following, you will
Resources
see
choke.
here are resources for beginners, here are resources for this
So
and
you're
that.
flooded with a lot of resources that you don't know
Exactly.
where to start from.
Yeah, I think at one point I actually just like left it. Let me find what I want. Like the whole distractions, I was like, okay, this distraction you don't need it, and I focused on what I want to do. I think that was at one point where I knew that, okay, LinkedIn, it can be noise. It's noise.
It is
Actually,
noise.
it depends
Good
on
noise
your
sometimes.
yeah, sometimes good noise. Like the quality of your connection. Let's just put it like that.
Thank you very
The
much.
quality of your connections, right? And I think a lot of people, a lot of professionals then were saying it, and I was not really like understanding what they meant. But now I do. You don't just connect to anyhow.
Don't connect with any
Yeah,
kind of person,
any type of
man. Be
person.
very selective with the
Exactly.
kind of people
And that's
you
why there are some
connect
people
with.
that you actually connect with, and you will see you're still seeing that they are still there for like 2 months. They have not accepted your connection.
Because they'll be like, "Oh, what does this one have to offer me?"
Exactly.
So
Right. So again, back on like the imposter syndrome, like the whole like when you're talking about conversations with your peers that you don't understand, courses you don't understand, right? And those that standstill moment where you feel like you're not moving forward, right? So I think that's when I realized that, and also low self.
low self-esteem comes out to play, and I think
Yeah.
most techies, this is not a sub, this is not a shade. I'm not even excluding myself from this conversation. Most techies battle with low self-esteem.
Yeah.
You're good. Your peers can see that you are good, but you don't believe you're good.
I think there's something that they called what was this? Is it you know that you're aware of your qualities, and sometimes you don't know you're aware of your qualities. There's something that
Maybe there's a term for
yeah,
it.
there's a term for that. Anyways, because there are sometimes that people actually are aware of if they're competent or not. There are sometimes people are not aware that they're actually
Some
competent.
people are
Yeah.
aware, but they still don't believe in their awareness.
Exactly.
I don't know if that made sense, but
Oh man.
Actually, all
imposter
these
syndrome.
things actually comes into play, and I think for me the only one solution to that is actually just fake audacity,
I'm gonna fake it.
right?
But don't fake it to the extent where you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
You just-
Because on LinkedIn, you can see a lot of them. They talk about shit, and
Yeah.
man, when you engage them in person, no shades.
And
Yeah.
I think another way, because I think one way was like, when I started content creation, I was like, I cannot do this. What will people say? I was like, if you are tired of where you are, Nobody will tell you to move.
You will move by yourself.
Yeah.
By
Nobody.
yourself.
Nobody. Because
And
I
then
keep on
please,
seeing
Joy,
a lot of.
Let me, please. I've been listening to you guys. I've been listening to you guys. And
This is so personal to us. Sorry.
I mean, like, okay, so everybody, I feel like we can relate to this on like very different
Yeah.
levels, right? But like, it was nice to just hear you guys' perspective, and but yeah, I wanted to like refer back to a very funny story, because like the first time I got to. The first day I entered Cyberpro, I was like the office, right? And then I sat like with Blue Team, right, with you guys, and I was listening to you people's conversation. I remember going back and telling Emmanuel that what's going on. And it is not a joke, like literally, because okay, if we're talking GRC things, yes, I know concepts, I know like what we're talking about, right? But you guys are talking about a lot of Blue Team stuff, and I felt very, I
Felt like a fish
I
out
did
of
not.
water.
Yes, I did not fully get the fact that cybersecurity is very compartmentalized. I think if that's the word, right? That like you could be doing
Different.
something completely different, and I could even mention terms that you people don't know.
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
might never intersect with the other segments.
Exactly. So like that was one of the moments where like I had like major imposter syndrome. Do you get? But like I'm just pointing that out because that's something that like we're all involved in that situation. But then what I would say is imposter syndrome happens to the best of like techies, right? To the best that out there, they still get imposter syndrome because you still get to be in settings where there are people that sound like they're better than you, right? You still feel like, especially funny enough, right? And this might, oh my god, I'm not about to go on a rant, but I feel like this might relate back to we as Nigerians, because I really think that, and I was saying this to someone, that I think that the fact that we've been suppressed generally, right? When we see people do stuff, like we feel like we're not good enough. We feel like we can't compete on that global stage. We
And
feel
then
like we can't.
we compete even when there is no competition. Nobody's trying to compete with you, but
I
I
think
think it's the society.
I just think it's that grooming that we've had most times that makes
Striving to carry first.
makes us feel that it's even different, Chinaza. For me, it's like because of the fact that there's this PR about like Nigerians, right, which is bad. We feel like
have
we're
bad
not good
PR.
enough
We have
to
bad
compete on a global, and that's a form of imposter syndrome. Do you get? But the last thing I will
Society
say,
level of imposter syndrome.
yeah, the last thing I would say is that the fact that you have imposter syndrome is a good sign.
Yeah.
Because to
Means
me, it
it's
feels like you're
right.
interested.
Exactly.
It feels like you're
exactly.
interested and you
Yeah.
want to grow,
And to
right?
feel more growth, yes.
Yes, and just know that even the best people feel imposter syndrome. I feel imposter syndrome.
And please don't run away from interviews. Flop the interview.
Prepare.
flop and get better.
Actually, prepare.
Yeah.
Prepare. Don't. Oh, I'm just going to wing it. No. Prepare
Apply
for
for
the
that
interview.
role.
Apply for
Because
that
You
role.
might be the person that they would need.
Apply for that role and just enjoy the experience. If you get into the interview stage, prepare for the interview.
Yeah.
Have the interview, flop the interview if need be. You improve over time, and then interviews just show you areas in your field that you need to improve on. That's
straight
the
up.
point of view I look at flopped interviews, and I've had my fair share of them.
And sometimes interviews are just about like how you communicate. You might be good, but if you can't
I was going
communicate,
to say
they
that. I
won't
was
pick
absolutely see. Communication is so
Communication is so important.
key. So
Yeah.
important. Like learn how to talk. Learn how to be
I
confident.
realized
in what
that
you're saying.
I'm very good at physical interviews than virtual interviews. I don't know why.
Oh really?
I'm terrible with virtual interviews, but to God,
I think
be
I
the glory.
enjoy virtual
To
interviews.
God be the glory. I enjoy.
I
think I
physical
enjoy
I think
interviews.
Josea's exactly you can talk.
I
Like
think I enjoy
among the
interviews.
three
I love
of us,
physical
we
interviews.
know. I think
Yeah.
that's why you pick your JRC and why
Yeah.
we pick where we pick.
Why we picked being behind the screen all the time.
Right. But exactly.
Yeah.
I think when I realized that, and that's what I'm trying to like build up.
Yeah,
build
yeah.
up
That's why
my
I'm
Yeah.
trying to do
communication.
content. I'm trying to do a lot of
Joy is a content
creation
creator.
now.
You people like if you're listening to this podcast.
Cyber BB.
Joy is our number one content creator, and you should follow her, and she gives a lot of amazing cybersecurity updates. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So basically my content is just about like my journey, honestly, navigating tech and everything.
And I enjoy your content. I always
Thank
look forward to your
you.
Monday motivations.
Hey,
Always
thank
look forward to
you.
your Monday
Thank
motivations.
you.
Today's Monday motivation, guys. You should always stay focused. Nice one, Joy.
All right,
So-
yeah. Moving forward, I think the next question should be how do we like what's that thing that keeps you recharged, like push that imposter syndrome back and actually set boundaries so that it shouldn't overwhelm you. Right? What's that thing? Like how do you
The imposter syndrome.
for imposter syndrome or for your burnout, right? So how do
I'm going to answer
you
this from 2 points.
how do
Yeah,
you
because
like,
it's like two different
Yeah, like
imposter
two
syndrome
yeah.
and burnout.
different coping
Yeah.
mechanisms for both of them.
so how do you like
For
should I say
burnout,
overcome it, right?
or get past that phase.
Yeah, or get
At that
past
point
it.
in time,
Yeah.
because it's still going to come back, unfortunately.
So Chinaza,
Okay, another solemn moment. I'm going to answer these questions from two different perspectives because they are two different questions to me. For burnout, I read a lot of books,
Yeah.
and buying books is a hobby. I buy books, I don't read them, but then I read them and I'm fine. So my current read is Surrounded by Idiots. And I don't know why I'm so happy, but reading just takes me into this space where nothing else matters. I'm just in my head. Now, it doesn't matter if I'm reading fiction, self-help, biography. I'm picturing every word
Oh, love
I
that for you.
read. So that helps me burn out a lot. And then crying helps me. I might not seem like a crybaby, but I am a crybaby. And
You don't seem like a
no, I don't seem like a crybaby, but I cry a lot in church. I go to church and then my father's house, I will cry. You might see that you think it's Holy Spirit, my dear. It's not
shaggy.
Holy Spirit, it's shaggy. It's tech shaggy. So
Yeah.
crying helps. Now, I'm not an advocate of don't cry. If crying will help you, man, cry it out. And then the other part is imposter syndrome. I build a lot of things. I do a lot of configurations, even when it's not needed. I do that to just validate my skills. And then I tell myself, guy, you are good.
Yeah.
Like,
those self-affirmations.
I had to like make that a daily routine. Guy, you are good. And it validates my skills. And I think something happened on Wednesday, or on Thursday, I think. My CISO posted
What's
my
a CISO for those that don't know?
oh sorry, Chief Information Security Officer. That's like
Yeah.
my manager. Posted my setup, my NA10 setup on our SecOps group and told the SecOps guy to take a look at it, and he never knew it was my setup.
Wow.
So that was like the greatest validation of
posted
the
about
year
this now.
for me. Yes, like it felt so good because I know my NA10 setup I did was not the normal one. I did Wazoo to Jira to email to SMTP. So usually people just do Wazoo to email straight. So I just added Jira, which is a ticketing platform.
Just
I know it
imagine
as
you're not doing
Jira.
that.
I know it as Jira.
Sorry, I call it Jira when I do best.
Yeah, Jira.
But yeah, so that was like I think that was like my validation of the year for me because
Yeah.
I felt like, okay,
That's really nice.
You're
I'm
on the right
doing
track.
something
Exactly.
right. And bear in mind that I'm in the analysis part of things. I'm not an engineer, but I'm tilting towards security engineering.
Python, you.
Python, that's why I'm learning Python actually. But yes, tell yourself you're good and actually do things that would validate that. Don't just tell yourself you're good. I don't believe in self-affirmation without content. I don't believe in telling yourself you're smart,
Yeah.
when there is no evidence to show that.
Exactly.
That's so
So
important.
you'd obviously meet blocks. Like when I was doing that setup, I think I did that setup for like a week. I was on it for a whole week, at least 8 to 10 hours every day. And I met a lot
That's
of
crazy.
unreal blockers. And then you have to do research and all. But then the energy and the time you put into doing some things, and then when it finally works, that is a validation on its own without you having to tell yourself, oh, you're good. And then learn to speak about what you do. I've never been one for the limelight. Like I don't like putting myself out there. I think my guys here knew how my first public speaking experience was. I was so anxious. I got a lot of pep talks. But I realized that putting myself out there, having conversations around what I do, helps me validate what I do, actually. Because now you speak to people and have conversations, and then you say some things that you probably don't even remember where you read it from,
Mm-hmm.
and you just, oh, okay, girl, you're good. So I think having a little bit of pride in what you do,
Yeah,
it helps
helps.
a lot. Don't talk down on yourself, but also walk the talk, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, walk the talk.
Yeah.
Josiah, what do you have to say?
She has said a lot of good
Yeah,
stuff.
she actually
But
said
so
a lot.
for me, it's a two-way question, right? First, how to handle burnout and how to handle imposter syndrome. So for burnout, I would say simply take a break. It's not I don't think for me, I don't think it
And
gets
if you
harder
die,
than
they will
that.
imply another person will take a break.
The work is going to go on. Tech is going to keep advancing. Take a break. Right, I'm bleeping that part out because I was going to say like a bad word, but take a break. Take a break. Like, and honestly, the thing is, okay, so I feel like we need to talk about there being a balance, because I understand that for people that are like high achievers and want to be high achievers, right, it gets hard for you to take a break, because me personally, I believe you have to be obsessed about something to really make something out of it.
Yeah.
But in your obsession, understand that
Try to
you're human,
balance.
right? And you could get so messed up to the point that, God forbid, something happens to you, right? And you're not even able to achieve what you want to achieve, right? So for me, for burnout, it's just simply take a break, right? Touch grass. When I mean touch grass, go out, connect to people. And then sometimes when you come back with a clearer mind,
Yeah.
right? To be able to handle
And
stuff
new
better.
perspective to things.
Yeah. Then imposter syndrome. For me, I would say, man, this is tough. One of the ways why I say it's tough is because it still happens to the best of us, right? And people that we even look up to. But one thing I would say is that should be a reason for you to get more hands-on in learning, right? Tell yourself that, by this time in 6 months, you don't want to enter those conversations and feel the same way, right? Get more lock-in, basically, right? Lock in and tell yourself that you need to, like Chinaza said, she worked on a setup and, she locked in basically for a week, worked on a setup and she got validation that, basically made her feel very good, right? And Chinaza also said something that I completely agree with, which is like, I don't know how to say this in a way that is like podcast friendly.
Talk your
right?
walk.
But yeah, it's like, blow your trumpet.
Blow your
And it's funny,
trumpets.
it's very hard. I think it's because, we're here saying, so let me use myself as a case study, right? Yes, I love to engage in conversations and stuff, but I don't like to put those conversations out there. It's hard. Like, if you go to my LinkedIn, you're not going to say anything serious. Do you understand? But it's like, it's something I'm also working on, right? Which is like, put yourself out there, right? You get to realize connect to people. You get to realize that you're not even as bad as you think you are. You're actually doing like really, really good. You get so yeah. It's lock in for imposter syndrome. I would say lock in and upskill and talk your work, like Chelsea says, and put yourself
Yeah.
out there.
I want to add is like, if you are not visible, like
Nobody's
even
going to-
even
nobody's
if you
going
are
to know
good,
about you. Yeah.
exactly.
Nobody needs to know about
Probably
you.
that job they are trying to find, and you're going through countless applications.
Yeah.
One
One referral can
network.
just like
Yeah,
Get
take you
it
to
for
number
you.
one. Yeah, absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question would be do you think that the tech industry like makes working too much seems cool or admirable or normal? So for example, let me give this for when people brag about, oh, I coded for 18 hours straight and I did this, or when sleep is for the weak, or
I feel like this
if you're not
episode is for me.
grinding,
I don't know.
you are not growing, stuff like that. Like, do you feel like the tech culture glamorize this?
The tech culture in Nigeria does that. I've not experienced the tech culture in other countries. I'm speaking from what I've experienced. I remember sometime, I think that was last year, a cybersecurity professional was saying that if you're getting into cybersecurity and you
Nigerian
get,
professional.
a Nigerian professional, you get mind, they sleep for 8 hours, you never ready. 8 hours in the night. And like I said, I'm a fan of Dr. Iriti. And she came up and was like, you better sleep 8 to 10 hours because the amount of work your brain would actually do after a good night's sleep is better than what your brain would do tired. The Nigerian tech I'm not going to like be very, very, very granular about my experiences because I feel like if I speak about you can track where you understand. But I've had situations where a 9 to 5 was not a 9 to 5. And not because it could not be a 9 to 5, but because other people glorified the fact that they could stay late. in the office and they felt good about it. And then when you want to live by your contracted 9 to 5, you feel like you're the most unserious staff ever.
Are they paying you for overtime?
Nigerian companies hardly pay for overtime. The only companies you'd see in Nigeria that pay for overtime are maybe foreign companies with locations here in Nigeria stuff. They have little. I feel like this is getting deep because I feel like Nigerian tech companies, God bless our soul, most of them have little regard to the mental health of their staff. Because if you really, really care about your staff, you understand that rest is important. Breaks are important. If you contract a staff for 9 to 5 and that person wants to leave by 5,
They have every right to do so.
they have every right to do so. And this is tech. You don't have to be in the office to be in the office. If you get what I mean. You can do a lot of things remotely. So I feel like the tech industry does glorify, the Nigerian tech industry does glorify the sufferhead lifestyle for techies, and it is not healthy at all.
Now, I have a question for you.
Yes, please.
Do you think that, Joy, sorry for stealing your spot. Do you think that this is because, I mentioned this earlier in the pod, right? Do you think that this is because for us to compete on a global stage, we feel like we need to do twice the work that other people have to do or other people need to do? We need to be twice as good to compete on a global stage. Do you feel like that's what engineers that mindset of, toxic, I don't want to call it toxic work, but
it is toxic.
It depends on, okay, I have my reservations, but do you think that that's what fuels that whole?
That might be part of what fuels it. But I also think another part of it that actually fuels the whole concept of sufferhead in tech, for a lack of being very granular with your question, Joy, is the fact that there are no jobs out there. Are we ready to speak on this?
Let's not touch.
Are we ready to speak on this?
Let's not touch.
Oh, man.
Now, another episode.
But do you know?
General,
okay, let me not talk about that. Let's just leave that for another episode.
In general, now that's a myth because there are jobs.
Exactly, I was going to say.
But there are no jobs.
But there are no jobs.
I think there are jobs, man.
There are jobs,
They are. They are jobs.
Same job, and the chances of you getting in without a network,
I just think that
without a person.
Yeah.
I'm speaking from the Nigerian point of view. Without
I think
a person,
it's everywhere.
I feel like there are even more jobs. The tech jobs, genuinely, I feel like they are. Oh my god, I'm not trying to like tilt this episode, but I think there are more jobs. This is what I mean. Are you going to do a job where you have Sec Plus for 150k? No, that's why there are no jobs for you, because you can't bring yourself to do that. There are jobs.
That standard is because there are no jobs. You feel like there are a lot of people that want to get into tech and will take the crumbs just because they want to.
But the jobs are there.
The jobs are there, but the jobs are not optimal for.
That's not the question. Are the jobs there? Yes.
Okay.
Would you take those jobs?
No. Exactly. Because they are ridiculous jobs.
Yes, but they are jobs regardless.
I saw a job ad last year for a pen tester for 100k, and they were asking for CEH.
Can you imagine?
100k. We didn't remove tax and this and this.
Obviously now, with the whole paying tax and everything.
Jesus.
CEH, my guy.
And the person will now inside the transportation.
So I feel like, in as much as, okay, let's just say, okay, there are jobs. There are jobs. Yeah. I want you guys to catch my tone.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole sufferhead lifestyle of techies, of having to like, I can code for like 24 hours straight without sleeping, even when there is no deadline. Because I understand when there is a deadline and you have to meet a deadline, you have to stay in the office overtime to meet this deadline. Even when there is no close deadline, you're working yourself, breaking your back, having migraines, working while having migraines.
Yeah.
It's because we have been conditioned to think that, is it we or the management or the managers? If you leave the job, someone else is going to take it.
And somebody else
will actually take it.
Yeah.
So you have to always be at your best, and your best most times in Nigeria means giving more than your best. It means giving yourself 100% and 200% over, even at the detriment of your health.
I mean, I think it's because you want to like keep that job.
Because you want to keep that job, because for you to get another one, it might not be ideal, but you really don't want to go back to the streets
Okay.
and start the whole job hunt. And job hunting is as terrible as house hunting.
Yeah.
It is terrible. So I feel like the industry does in some way. That's like the summary of all I've said.
I don't even think like it's the whole like Nigerian industry.
I think that's why I just said the industry
Yeah.
does in some
Yeah.
way. And then the obviously ever evolving trends in the tech industry.
And that also leads to our thinking when we're taking breaks and we feel like somebody's
Yes.
doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's useless.
Well, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I was going to say that. Yes, I get that it's not just Nigeria, but I still stand on the fact that. So now let me be a bit more explicit. I think in third world countries and developing countries, that's where you find things like this.
Yeah.
For instance, right, if you've had conversations with like Asians, they also have the same, or Indians, right? You know, people from that like region, right? They also have the mindset of like, oh my God, like you have to put in the hours.
They
You
get
have
paid
to.
for their hours.
You have to.
Different.
No, the point is that it's still under the same umbrella of we all don't have like, you know, as much opportunities as people in the West, right? People that, you know, have easy access to
Easy access
six-figure
to
jobs.
six-figure jobs.
Exactly. For us, it's like you
have
know.
to have 10 times more skills.
And at the end of the day, if you're hired remote, you're not even going to be paid close to what someone that is.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like that mindset is really like one of the. It's toxic for the mindset to shape that.
Society
Okay, you work.
matters a lot. So
yeah.
society also contributes.
That's just the bedrock of what I was going to say. I say
Society contributes.
sometimes I don't necessarily blame the people that push the agenda. I think underlying thing for them is that it's like you need to put in double the work for you to stand out as a Nigerian, as an
Exactly.
African, you know.
I just remember the post.
Stuff like
my
that.
Friend,
So,
my
yeah.
friend is a full stack developer. He builds AI agents and the likes. And he was ranting to me last week, and I felt so bad for him because he's good. I can tell you that for short. Vincent is one of the best developers I've come across. And he was like, he doesn't understand why he has to know Rust. He has to know
Oh my God,
Golang.
Rust is so insane.
He has to know, like he knows there's no programming language you want to call out now that he does not have an idea of, just for him to get crumbs from European countries.
That's that. Now that is what. Are you going to tell that person why are you working 10
Nah,
hours a day?
you can't blame them.
Because he has to compete, right? It's toxic that you have to
It's
do
an
that.
unfair
It's
competing ground, man.
But it's life. It's I don't
Life
know.
is unfair, man.
It's unfair, but
I feel like this episode is so
It's becoming too much
it's
because
so-
we just said that, and I was about to talk about the whole like Trump policy that he just pushed
please
out.
let it not
Let's-
ban this podcast.
But they don't ban
No,
us.
I just wanted to like talk
Yeah,
about
go ahead,
like
go
the
ahead, no, go ahead,
statements,
go ahead.
right? Like right now, I think if you are looking for a job, if you
They
want
have
to
pay
relocate,
$100,000 for you
exactly,
every year.
Okay, yeah, H1B.
exactly.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
H1B.
So that
No, I think it's
sound-
once. I think it's once. It's once. They clarified. Like I saw a post from White House
Even
account. That it's just
once.
once.
Even once
The
is
company has to
video.
pay.
But which company?
amount.
You have to be extremely good.
That
Yeah.
your good has to be good.
That means they did not find that talent in their own country.
They would pick someone lesser than you in their own
That's
country.
what it means. That they did not find that
And
talent
train-
in your
and
country,
pay
in
that
their
money.
country, for them to
They would
outsource.
prefer to pick
Yeah.
somebody from their country and pay that $100,000 in training than to bring
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay.
Let's
This episode is
let's-
so.
I know
let's
this
move.
episode is going to be way longer than usual.
right. Okay. So now, finally, like, what's the advice you give to someone struggling to stay motivated right now?
This is where my talk from episode 1, I think, was it episode 1 or episode 2? I can't remember, about having passion. Man, if you don't have passion, you're going to have a hard time staying motivated. Because, like Josiah would always say, it is not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Absolutely.
So what happens when 6 months to 1 year down the line, you still haven't gotten your one big break or your leg into the industry? You've not gotten the job, you're still, and what if you took the bad decision of quitting your 9 to 5 to
Yeah.
get into tech? So if you don't have genuine interests,
It's going to be tough.
it's going to be so difficult. And I feel for you because a lot of people are trying to motivate themselves. A lot of people don't have motivation to give you. Let's be really honest. A lot of
Real.
people in the tech industry are trying to just motivate themselves, and they don't have so much remnants or residue
Residue motivation for you.
to give to you. So to stay motivated, remember why you got in the first place. If it's money, remember that you're still there for the money.
That you need it.
You need the money. If it's maybe, let's say from my own point of view, that it was from, emotional point of view of trying to help people. Remember why you got started in the first place. Just remember the reason why you got into that industry in the first place, and keep that at the forefront of your mind. And like I would always say, continue building. Be consistent. Be consistent doesn't mean post on LinkedIn all the time. You don't have to show people that you're consistent for you to be consistent. So long as you're doing the work behind the scenes, be consistent. And trust me, there are jobs out there. And by the grace of God, one will find you soon.
And
so
talent.
just stay motivated, stay relevant in the industry. Please don't have ISC C squared and say you're looking for.
Yeah.
This is not shades, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I'll say you're looking for a 6-figure role. Although you just finished a 3 months boot camp and you feel like you're ready to take on a 6-figure. Let's be honest, nobody would.
I mean, if the boot camp is not as exaggerated as
that's why I always speak on taking advantage of the free resources out there. Because see, if you can't take advantage of the free resources out there, chances are when you pay, your money will waste. Because I know in programming, I did not take advantage of free resources. I paid, my money waste. I know finish the bootcamp, I run. Because there was no genuine interest. So remember why you got started, stay motivated, build value, connect with people. Connect with people. There are people going through the same thing that you're going through. There are people looking to get jobs. And trust me, when you're in the whole circle of people trying to get like a particular goal, the chances of you achieving that goal in this sense is higher because you have people of like minds. You're speaking with people of like minds, so you're not alone in the whole journey. I think I've spoken a lot. Okay. Okay, that's all for me.
We like to add anything as soon as that's spoken for us.
Shazza said everything, but I wanted to point out something which is a little bit different, right? Which is, I would digress a little, but we've been speaking about, getting jobs, but nobody stops you from creating
jobs.
Right? Nobody stops you from building something, because I feel like we're even at a point where it's like it's easy for you to build something. It's not just for the sake of you being a founder, right? But it's like, it's even in tech, right? You could find a niche that you could actually do something that solves a problem, right? So the point of what I'm saying is that, yes, we've been speaking about getting jobs, but you can also, create jobs. You can also solve a problem that
give back to the community as much as you can.
But to buttress on what Chinaza said, I think the point I was going to mention is just what's the question again? Sorry. I lost my train of thought. It
happens to the best of us.
What's the question?
I said, what's the advice you give to someone struggling to stay motivated?
Good. I'm sorry. I was going to say, remember why you started. Yeah. God, I cannot believe that. Do you know that it was at the back of my mind, but because of the fact that I mentioned something else. But remember why you started. If money was your motivation, then don't stop till you get the money.
Exactly.
And money is a valid motivation. Right. If your motivation is to give back, then don't stop till you keep giving back. Right. You get to a point where you already have things in place that give back to people even in your sleep. Right. So never forget why you started, and understand that you're not going to get there in 1 year. You're not going to get there in 2 years. You're going to get there at the end of the day. It takes, for you to build substance, it's going to take time. So
I think if I remember one thing that we all know, one of my very, how do I even describe himself? One thing he said that stood out for me, and I value a lot of the lessons he gave me. Some of them were very, very not palatable. But one thing he said was that before you actually get your first big break in cybersecurity, you must have been in the industry. You must have been relevant for 3 to 5 years. So that takes off the whole get into my bootcamp and get 6 figures in 6 months, man. Don't look at that, please.
Okay.
Money is a motivation. Like me, I'm an Igbo girl. See, you must have already gotten that from how I speak about money and maybe from my name. It's a very good motivation, but don't make that your only motivation. It can be your only motivation, no, but my advice,
I feel like it's valid for money.
it's a
to be
valid
to be
motivation,
honest.
but don't. You can make money from what you have interest in. In tech.
See, okay.
That's why I added in tech.
Yeah, in tech, because I think you can have passion for something outside of tech, but tech is a means to an end. That's fine to me.
Exactly.
That's fine, but like, don't look at it from the whole get rich quick. You are going to lose motivation. I assure you, you are going to lose
I add
motivation
something
because
to
that
that?
money might not come in 6 months. So what happens when it doesn't come in 6 months?
Chinaza, let me add something
Yes,
to what you're
please.
saying. Just a disclaimer to anybody listening that if you decide that out of all the things in tech is cybersecurity you want to do, I need you to understand that your roadmap is longer than someone that wants to be a developer. Why I
Very
say so
long.
is because there are people that could be a developer, learn how to build a few projects, and land a job. At least it's not going to be a crazy job, but it's going to be a remote job. It's easier. UI UX designers.
Chances of you
I'm not saying it's so. This is not to discourage anybody because with cybersecurity,
No, we're
that
being
once you
real
hit
in
it,
this pod, man.
once you hit it, it's like
Once your legs are in, your legs are in.
exactly. But you might find it easier with things like UI UX, maybe even data
Cybersecurity
science
is
or
just
data
opening
analysis.
up in Nigeria, for being very honest with us.
I mean, I'm even talking like as per global opportunities, like remote opportunities.
Oh Lord.
Right.
Oh Lord.
There's a lot of things.
When are we going to talk about rejections, guys?
Next
Because I've
episode.
gotten a lot of. I'm sorry, we cannot move forward with you because you're not in the US.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, we don't hire people from your country.
That's very, very like cybersecurity now. You know that like there are so many
It's from a
restrictions.
security
You can't
point
exactly.
of view.
Exactly.
You need security clearance to get this job.
There are certain data that they can't process in Nigeria, for instance, right? Due to like certain laws
and
GDPR all those
regulations
things.
and
You
all.
can't.
So, like, if you want to get into cybersecurity, we're going to give it to you real, man. It's not going to be an easy journey.
It's gonna be tough.
It's going to be tough and it's going to be long.
So they are giving you
But
PR
yeah,
on Twitter and all
but
those
just stay
things.
motivated. Remember why you started. That's just what we're trying to say. Remember why you started.
Yeah.
Right. So it has been a lot.
My favorite episode so far too.
My episode. This episode was for me, guys.
A lot, right? So burnout is real, imposter syndrome is real, but that should not stop you, right? It should not make you feel like you're weak for feeling all of this. You're not a robot
Your
now.
feelings are valid.
You're not a robot, you're a human being.
Yeah.
So
You're not AI. Hello.
so if you're listening and you're feeling stuck,
You're feeling
give
demotivated.
yourself permission to rest. Make it mandatory, right? You cannot pour from an empty cup.
Speak on
Word,
it. Block it.
Right. So I don't know. It's like anything you guys want to add,
Yeah.
like each of you to like drop anything that can help somebody recharge or something.
Give yourself grace. And do not feel guilty for taking time off.
Yeah.
Do not feel guilty for doing something fun. Do not feel guilty for going out with your friends. Do not feel guilty for taking 2 hours, 3 hours to read a book, watch a movie. You have a Netflix series you want to watch it.
Yeah.
You're human first before you're a techie.
Right. So again, I just want to like introduce ourselves again. If you are just listening for the very first time, we are Chinaza, Joy, and Josiah. In short, JJC, right?
Johnny, just come.
Right. So this is
Yeah.
our podcast, Still Figuring Tech Out, where we are just 3 techies in our 20-something, which we just landed our very first break into cybersecurity, and we're just trying to like make it more. We're trying to like give our advice and our unpopular opinion about our experiences, life at work, our work-life balance, what we are still figuring out. We are still figuring out adulthood.
A lot of things.
And a lot of
Adulthood is the
things,
get
right?
home.
So this is not a podcast where we are cybersecurity professionals, right?
We are professionals.
Yes, but
we're
it's
still
not,
growing. Yeah.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
still
yeah.
growing.
We are still growing. So
And we are proud of the fact that we're still growing and we still make mistakes and we'll still make mistakes
Exactly.
and would learn from our mistakes. So yeah.
if this resonates with you and you like what you've been hearing so far, make sure to follow us, share, and also tell to a friend who is still figuring things out, who is figuring tech out, right?
Tell us your burnout experience too, if you have one.
Yeah. You can drop that in the comment
Please.
section.
We
Your
want to hear.
your burnout experience and how you overcame.
I want you to know that you're not alone in this journey.
Exactly.
We're all here.
So that's for today's episode. See you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
This is Still Figuring Tech Out.